Well, hey there, Vern. Good to see you can make the review there. My trusty colleague. And of course, Sparky. I've got Sparky doing a little research for me here on this review. Sparky, I see you've been into the Scotch again. I thought we talked about that earlier. Vern, I might need you to do the research in the future there.
If you're not interested in the Benriach history, just scroll to the review.
So we're going to be doing a review on some of the Benriach whiskeys there. So I'm showing you where the distillery is here, and we will blow it up a bit here. And we're just south of Elgin here, and of course we're going to be locating just about 2 kilometers south of Elgin. The distillery that was built by John Duff, 1898. Now he owned another distillery he built, the Longmorn. And Longmorn, you notice, is quite close to the Benriach distillery. So there was a private railway that was built between the two, and of course there's the Longmorn, and there is the Benriach, and they transported their barley, their coal, etc., between the two distilleries. And this was built at the tail end of the whiskey boom and just prior to the Pattison whiskey crash. Well, welcome to Noel's World of Whiskey. Now, you're looking at all these bottles here. Well, I did this last night, this review, and finished it off with the software, and I lost it due to, we'll just say, being up late and maybe working a little bit later than I should have, especially after spending a day up on the hill there doing Nordic. I think the brain went dead when it came to saving the disc. I won't even get into it. But anyways, I'm doing the review again. We have 3 bottles here. The reason is because I am going to do a review on the Smoky 12. And let's get them. There it is, Smoky 12. So I'm going to do a review on that. I did a review on the 12, the Benriach 12, okay? And I am going to compare the two at the end of the review. I want to compare the two. And also, I'm going to throw in this little baby here, and this one is called the Benriach Curiositas, which I had bought for me many years ago by my son, okay? And I forget if I've had this twice or whatever, but this was kind of their peated 10-year-old whiskey. So we're going to do a little comparison, something kind of brief and quick, but really the review is about the Smoky 12 because we did the 12 previously last week. So anyways, we're going to get into it. We're going to need some glasses. It's always important to have glasses. So I will bring our glasses out, and nice, amber color, kind of a little bit of a tea, a little darker tea, kind of like how I like my tea. Anyways, that's it, and we'll go grab some glasses here. and we'll get started. So we have a couple of Glencairns, and we have what's called a Trudeau glass, which is also good for sniffing and sipping. So we'll probably use that to identify the Curiositas. We'll keep that one over there for that. And we will, rightly, these are, one's got a little narrower, this Glencairn's got a little narrower mouth to it, so not sure why that is. Okay, let's get into the Smoky 12. Benriach Distillery, I do a little bit of a short history on it. You're certainly welcome to scroll ahead if you don't want to watch that history. Little bit of tidbits I can say is that this is Billy Walker's distillery. He brought it alive after it was kind of wandering around really aimlessly. It wasn't really establishing itself, and it slept for 65 years. It was literally 2 years after it was opened during the latter part of the whiskey boom. It had 2 years of life, and it was shut down. They kept the malting floors going for supplying Longmorn, but I talk about that in the video. But anyways, Billy Walker sells it to Brown-Forman, and now we have Dr. Rachel Barry, that is the master distiller blender, and she has also just been awarded Keeper of the Watch. So she is a well-respected person in the industry, as Billy Walker is. Very knowledgeable. They know their casks. So let's see what the two of them have done to this whiskey, because I think they both participated, because we're talking, this is a 12-year-old whiskey, and I think it was 2016 when Billy Walker sold Benriach to Brown-Forman, and then Rachel Barry, she's been on it for a few years here, so I think she has her name on these whiskeys, so I think she's responsible maybe for the finishing of these whiskeys, and certainly the work of the casks and all that would be more Billy Walker. So anyways, let's get into her here. The nose. For Smoky 12, not a lot of smoke, which doesn't disappoint me, by the way. I've had lots of smoke, so there is an intention here. And that is because now I can smell fruit. And I am smelling lots of fruit, lovely fruit. We're getting the fresh fruits, and we're getting sweet fruits, we're getting sour fruits. So we can how can we identify these? I would say we definitely have some oranges here, and they could be sweet and they could be sour. We've got some grapes, and we've got currants, and we've got plums, we've got peaches, we've got apricots. We got a load of fruit. Not so much in the dark fruit, though. And I'm still waiting here for some vanilla. See if we can get the bourbon to shine. And we're getting some of the spices, and I'm going to say we got nutmeg. Ooh, we got some of those, some of the cinnamon candies there. What do you call them? The spicy hots, or whatever they're called. Little red cinnamon candies. A little bit of the oak coming through now. And just a whiff of that vanilla. So it's slipping in, and just toward the back end here we're getting the vanilla. Yeah, this is also very, it's very distinguishable, these notes. So as we sort of mentioned, there wasn't a big punch of smoke, but it's in the background. But it's more like rubber boots. It's not your Isla, the Isla maritime notes or medicinal notes, but it's a subtle smoke, more like a campfire smoke. Wow, good nose, excellent nose. So I usually take it away and then bring it back to see if I can identify anything else. Okay. Yeah, so basically, yeah, I'm getting a little bit of oak toward the tail end in the vanilla notes, so nice. There's maybe a slight bit of the cereal notes in there too. Okay. Something I've learned about the resetting your nose. So this actually came from Dr. Don Livermore, and he basically put the nose down and it resets. And I've seen a few reviewers do this to reset their nose. I was trying to figure out why. Well, I guess it's to get the body smelling our body odors. I don't have enough right now. I think I've got too much underarm deodorant on. But it does. It's supposed to reset the nose. But I went for a pretty stiff kind of a walk run here just prior to doing this review. I think my nose is pretty good right now. I just have to get it away, and it seems to help me re-identify and get me just to maybe a different focus. So, but we've done that. I'm impressed with the nose. It's a good nose. Let's get into the palate. So much. Well, sweet and sour again, but more sweet. The honey's coming in. We've got some cereal, some of the grain. Yeah, you really notice it if you leave it in the mouth, like let it kind of float toward the back of your tongue. So I'm getting the grain and the wood. But there is some good sweetness there. The smoke is not overpowering. It's kind of there. Last night I tasted more smoke. I'm tasting less today, but what I'm going to say is that if I was drinking, let's say, an Ardbeg or a Lafroig, I would be kaboom. It's smoke. It's smoke all the way, right through. And it's just trying to get through that smoke and get the other notes. So with this, the smoke is very subtle in the background. And I almost forget about it at times. So I noticed last night it was a little bit more identified. I could identify it probably a little bit more distinguished. So, but the malt's there, and maybe a little bit of floral notes there, heather, flowers, some flower garden. I'm gonna have to refresh. Really get the sweetness as it's floating toward the back tongue there. Really get the sweetness now. So the sweetness is coming through. Sultanas, grapes. I did mention grapes. I did mention peaches, oranges, and all that. They're all there. What I've noticed, I'm definitely getting that the fruits. And the interesting thing is they come on sweet, but if you hold it for a while, you get a little bit of tartness in it, but not quite as sour as the nose was. Here comes the cinnamon and nutmeg, white pepper, mixed in with the vanilla. That's our bourbon. I would say the taste of this, the initial taste of this, started with little less sweetness, and it's kind of finishing off with a little more sweetness. So start off with less, maybe a little bit more grain, wood, etc. But it seems that the sweet notes came in after. I think I did the opposite. Even though I don't have it recorded, I did the opposite last night. I think I was actually tasting more of the sweet stuff in the beginning. Something different going on here tonight, but it doesn't matter. We got lots of stuff going on here. I think what we're focused on here is there's a lot of character to this drink, and there certainly is. 2 different nights, 2 different things going on. I'm just getting different things. That happens all the time when you're doing tastings. So anyways, this one's for me, by the way. What I'm saying is I like this. Oh, I'm getting cinnamon and a little bit of ginger now. Yeah. And the white pepper is sort of coming in there, so it hasn't disappeared. I think it's nice. It's not overly sharp. It's kind of an enjoyable white pepper. Like I use a lot of black and white peppers, so they go well on soups. They go well on a lot of my cooking. So I can really identify them when I get something like this. It just seems to add. I like a little bit of spice. I don't like it overly spiced, but this is really well balanced. Probably the best thing I can say about it so far. It's got good balance. Little bit of smoke. Okay, so let's try the finish here. Malt. The wood, and now a bit of the smoke. Slight bit of the bitterness, that's the oak. Slight bit, nothing, like an enjoyable, if there is such a thing as an enjoyable bitterness, because, come on, the sweetness is kind of drowns it out. You know what's interesting here? I'm getting a herbal tea. And I've been getting it the whole time, but I haven't been able to identify it, so that's why I haven't said herbal tea, and now I'm going to say it. Chai tea. I'm getting chai tea, and I think licorice notes, I've sort of noticed them, but I couldn't quite distinguish them there. Definitely can distinguish them now. I would say chai tea as we're getting toward the finish here. And the finish is medium in length. Yeah, I'm still getting the orange, I'm still getting a wee bit of finish here, still getting the orange. Something right at the very end though, just a very slight metallic taste at the end there, so that one I'll have to, I didn't get that, I haven't got that like last night when I was doing the review. I definitely didn't get that, but just sort of got it there. But anyways, it's all good, it's pleasant, good finish. Okay, before I give this a mark, I'm gonna do a little, just sort of, test the three, maybe a little bit of a shootout between the three, just see what they're all about. So we will do just a little bit of a top up. This is the Smokey. Don't want to mix them up. So here's the Smokey. Smokey 12. So that's right here. I got the Trudeau glass. I'm going to do that with the Curiositas, and let's get the 12. So maybe I'll put these back in their cask here just to get them out of the way. And let's get this one here. This is the 12, the one I did the review on. And you notice I didn't add any water in any of these yet. I can maybe do it as we're doing the shootout here. So we'll do a little there. And so that's the 12. And then we'll do the Curiositas. So just to let you know, 46% ABV on both of these, the 12 and the Smokey 12. No non-chill filtered, no coloring added. This has a bourbon, I think it's 10 years in a bourbon and a couple of years in a sherry, finished in a sherry, as well as a couple of years in a Marsala cask. So, and this has, again, the 10 in the bourbon, then again the sherry, a couple of years, and then a port cask. So different casks there. This here, which we're going to pour in the Trudeau glass, is a bourbon cask. There was nothing mentioned about sherry or other finishing casks. We'll say bourbon cask, but they used their floor maltings. Yeah, they have floor maltings at the Benriach distillery. They brought that back. Oh, it was quite a few years back there. So in both the Smokey 12 and in the Curiositas, they do those maltings. So you get a little bit of peat out of the water, but of course we're getting it out of the actual the cereal grains, the cereal barley and that. So, and there we are. So, okay, let's get at it so we know we don't get these mixed up. I've done that before. We identify this with that. That's the Trudeau glass, okay? And we'll put that out of the way. And this is the Smokey 12 with this guy over here on the right, your left. And of course the 12 here on my left. Okay, I did the last sip came out of there. That was the Smokey 12, so let's go for the 12. And you can read the review. You can watch the review on this. I did that last week. So this had a fair amount of spice to it, and we're dropping a lot of the spice notes tonight. I struggled a little bit with this in the review because it was quite spicy, and the spices were kind of disrupting my nose. I was having trouble. I was finding the spices a bit sharp, and just not disliking it, just a little confused as to what they were doing with it, where they were going with it. And everything sort of settled down, and you know, as I got to the end of the review, and I might have added some water too, so I'm getting more sweetness. I'm just not getting the spices here. I'm getting a lot of what I get over here, but it's not quite as sweet, that's all. So let's try the palate. Wow, this is different. Now the spices are coming through, but sweet and spicy. So I forgot what I said in the review. And by the way, very thick legs in this glass. I think that's the 46%, but I don't find it a real heavy drink like some of the, some of the other whiskeys that I drink. So I still consider this not super light. It's not a Glencairn, maybe not even a Tomatin, but it is a lighter. It's a little bit on the lighter side. That's all for a space side. Nice, sweet. I'm getting the sweet. So I wasn't getting this right off the bat. So getting something different tonight. I like it. Now let's go back to this one. That's the Smokey 12. Oh, the smoke, I'm getting the smoke. So it took this to get me to understand and really distinguish the smoke. So now I've got the smoke. And I'm getting rubber boots, maybe even rubber tires. And it's nice. It's a nice. When I say rubber tires and rubber boots, I'm not slamming this drink, believe you me. It's a nice smell. Remember, I spent a good chunk of my life fishing in fishing boats. There's lots of rubber smells, rubber gear, your Haley Hansen gear, your fishing gear, your boots. You're in an ice hold. You're down there with fish. You're wearing gum boots all the time, and that's kind of the smell I'm getting here. Not the fishy smell, the rubber smell. Anyways, palate. More of the same. Not as much smoke, but smoke was a little bit more prevalent than it was when I first reviewed this. I think I kind of missed that note, and I'm getting it more so now, but not as much as the nose. The nose is definitely more smoke. The palate a little bit less smoke, but definitely more smoke than when I started the review. Okay, let's get into the Curiositas, and let's give it a nose. Smoke, but not as much as this in the nose, but I wonder if it's just because I had gone from there to there. Let's reset my nose here by doing this. This is smelling sweeter. Okay. Okay, that seems to help, yeah. Yeah, they're definitely getting the smoke now. And sweet notes, not as over they're not overpowering like the sweet notes I get into the Smoky 12. So the Curiositas is just more smoke dominated, a little less sweet. Okay, palate. Definitely smoke. So I find this, even though this is called the Smoky 12, I'm finding the Curiositas more smoky than the Smoky 12. Nice, kind of, you know, it's still that not even a beach fire, more of just a campfire smoke, and it's got for a 10-year-old whiskey. This has also got some character to it. So I haven't done a review on this. I will have to do a review on the Curiositas, but comparatively speaking, to the Smoky 12, this seems to be a lighter smoke. That's what I'm getting, and this seems to be a little bit stronger smoke. So I don't know why. I thought it was the other way around, but I've never tested the two together. So again, we're going to try this. I'm resetting my nose with this. I mean, they're close, but I just feel this has got a little bit more smoke to it. So I am going to say that this was a challenge when I first did the review. I'm liking this a bit more. I'm liking the palate on this a bit more. The Curiositas is definitely one I want to review. I think this is a great little presentation for not an aggressive smoke, but something that might be good if you're a starter into peat. Actually, both of these, if you're a starter into peat. So if you're doing things like Bowmore or maybe something like a Kalila, the lighter side of Isla, I think you will enjoy these. They're not overpowering whiskeys in terms of their phenol content. They're just a lighter smoke presentation. They do not have the maritime influence, the seaweed, the iodide taste that you get with the Isla whiskeys. But I mean, they have their own character. So for a Speyside, it's a different, it's just a different presentation with smoke. So anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. We got to give this a score. Let's get back to this guy here. I'm going to say that this here is definitely an 86. It is a decent whiskey. I would probably put this in a place where if I was looking at any of the Benriachs, I would definitely want to have the Smoky 12. I think this ended up, I forget, about an 85, and I'm not sure, we'd have to do a review on the other there, but all three of these whiskeys are good whiskeys. So I'm going to finish off, I'm going to say 86 on the Smoky 12. It's a good whiskey. It's definitely one you want to have on your shelf. And now that we've got Rachel Berry, Dr. Rachel Berry at the wheel, I think it will continue to produce good whiskeys. She understands cask, and really that's what we're getting into here, is how we're finishing these. So again, this was a Marcella finish with, of course, the sherry and the bourbon cask. So it is a triple cask presentation, same as the 12. The Curiositas is a bourbon cask with smoke. So anyways, that's it for now. I would like to finish off with remember to drink wisely and intelligently, and do not drink and drive. Until the next time, so long.